So, welcome again, and let me pick up from where I left, and let me reiterate what the wonder that the brain creates, because we all are able to define our self, our thought, our memory, but we will come to that later. Let us look at the physical thing which I was talking, how the brain integrates, and it is such a smart process which has developed. Just as I said, auditory does a natural Fourier and represents a tonotopic frequency based representation into the geniculate nucleus. A visual system is the best studied, and as Francis Crick, who discovered the DNA helicals, shifted to neurophysiology later on, writes in a book called Astonishing Hypothesis, which you should read sometime, get hold of it and go through it. It has actually directed a lot of research. So, as I said, you look at it, it is a left hemifield here, right here, in between it, the relay center thalamus, which every sensation has to pass through it. Thalamus is not just a relay center. Thalamus also gets lot of projections from deeper areas called reticular activating system, which we will talk when we talk of sleep. Thalamus, if you remember the 6 layers initially, I told you that 5th layer is the pyramidal where the output goes, 4th layer is where thalamus sends its input to the higher cortex, and 6th layer is where the cortex sends it to thalamus. So, corticothalamic loops we will talk about when we talk of the brain networks. So, the sensation comes into the 6 layers, and as I said, axons from one eye are labeled, and this is how it is presented. What the brain does after this, it uses network, and now you can see how vision is a part of your mind, your hearing is a part of your mind, your sensations are part of your mind. They may work at a very, very physical level, but actually it is all connected. Now, after the image is formed in the visual area, it is projected to, as I said, temporal, which decides what are you seeing, parietal, where is it located, because it is important. Signal has to go, you know what, signal has to go to your other parts of body. Otherwise, if you do not know where, how will you turn your head and see? To turn your head and see, you have to know where. So, the parietal lobe tells you that. Then that composite image is sent to the higher center, which decides whether you want to act to it, whether you want to look at it, whether you what action do you want to take. But before reaching there, something else happens. There are deeper structure in the brain which I have not mentioned, that is called limbic area. We will talk when we talk of emotion. Limbic area and memory, they also activate and compare if there is any previous image of that object which you are seeing. Because if you remember that example I gave you, why do you suddenly see somebody's face and start getting upset? Because what happens, what do you know about the face you are seeing? If there is no memory, you will not have any emotion. The moment you see that face which goes in is compared with the previous stored image of that, but it is not only the image which is compared, all the emotional drama which has been there in the memory, emotional memory will suddenly get activated, and that emotional memory will label it on the basis of hierarchy. So, your mind will tell you it is a threat. Last time this guy abused me and my ego got shattered. So, that emotions will compare these two images, and one composite image will go to the higher center, which will decide, oh, be careful, watch out. Otherwise, how do you know a dog is coming to bite you? It is a memory, right. How many of you have seen a lion, and how many of you have experienced a lion jumping on you? How many of you have been shot by terrorists? But you have learnt it from television, you have learnt it from newspaper, you have learned it from the experience of others. That is the quality of human beings. We not only learn from our experiences, we learn from others, but your mind warns you, okay, this man may be looking like a person who will pull out a gun. This is also a source of something called hallucinations. because for survival, your mind has to keep you oriented and in contact with the external reality. Now, suppose if somebody is putting a knife in front of me, obviously your mind will get threatened. But if I start feeling that knife is not a knife, it is a flower stick, I will damage myself. So, your brain may be an internal image is telling you it is a flower stick for some strange experience, or it is a plastic knife, but the reality is it is a real knife. So, your conscious brain will suppress that internal imagery by corollary discharges, suppress it, so that your mind always remains in touch with reality. That is the basic purpose of brain networks, because if it is not in the touch with external reality, then you will hurt yourself. That is against life. So, because the basic function of brain network is to make you survive, so that you reproduce, to keep your human species on. Genes are pushing, neurons are helping them to modulate and keeping you survive. That is the basic function. Rest all is details. How it does it is detail. Why it does it is to survive. Once you are born, to survive. Most people have to avoid death. So, your brain always keeps you in touch with the external reality, because plus also I will tell you when we talk about the evolution, that it is developed because of that. So, the higher centers suppress the internal reality. If they match, wonderful. If they do not match, that is the best explanation we have till now. The mathematics and physics of it is at a deeper level. How does it do it? It basically does it through these networks. There are 5 major brain systems. Left perisylvian language network, that is the temporal lobe. Parieto-frontal, the sensory and the frontal for spatial attention, as I said, where. Occipito-temporal, from where you see, to the temporal lobe for what? Object recognition. Medial temporal limbic network for learning and memory. This is the emotional network, as I said, for learning. What are you seeing? Comparing it with memory and forming memories. And prefrontal network for attention and compartment. Prefrontal network is this, in the frontal lobe. There is an area called dorsolateral prefrontal cortex, which is not the decision maker, but it is the actual comparator of what is being put, what goes there, abstract thinking, judgment. So, we have what you call a default mode network, which is from deeper parietal, deeper temporal, deeper structure of frontal lobe inside of it, which is at rest. Then we have what you call a salience network. There is you saw that corpus callosum which connected, next to it is a cingulate gyrus, a cingulate area, and there is a small area called insula, which extracts the salience of the image, which is the input which goes to the higher cortex. But remember, all this is happening at a very, very unconscious level. When you become aware, by that time already 200 milliseconds to 500 milliseconds have passed, and the central executive network is this prefrontal cortex and all that, which decides. Central executive decides to pay attention, not to pay attention, to have a movement, to run away, but all that what it gets after a lot of processing. So, you look at it now, what makes us human? Again back to that same question, is it the size? Elephant's brain is larger in size. Is it the context? Yes, possibly, because we all know human being can stand in isolation. All our acts, can you tell me any of your act which is out of context? All actions, all feelings, everything has to be in a context. Whether it is the continuity of it. Continuity means that once we get born, I get all the stimulus, I form my memory, there is a certain way I have been brought up, all that goes into me and that forms a continuity. Or is it the connectivity? The way we can connect to other human beings, the way we can connect to. Now, given all this, so now if you broadly, if you ask me to sum up in few sentences before I move on into the deeper level. So, we are, if you, I just mentioned few levels in the beginning. So, we are actually at just the second level if you look at it. I may have talked a lot of things. So, we do a certain behavior, that behavior originates from the brain. The brain has certain two hemispheres which are connected by corpus callosum, certain areas which are a specialized function, not in the sense of exact localization, which has 10 to the power 11 neurons and 10 to the power 15 synapses. They are networks which connect all these neurons and in a very, very complex network, which we will talk about. Sensory input goes in, it is goes to the relay center, thalamus, present to the parietal lobe then again processes, then goes to the frontal lobe takes a decision on it and we do a certain behavior. In between the process, the emotional brain, which is a deeper brain, evaluates all the stimulus on the relevant hierarchy, compares it with memory, decides whether it has to be worked upon or not worked upon, and whatever is relevant, the prefrontal cortex decides on it to keep us in touch with reality by suppressing the corollary. Anything in this huge network can go wrong, which are the causes of illnesses. We may not be able to prove it just now, but these are the reasons, and all this is to survive and propagate the species. Now, broadly, brain works like this, and then there are networks which are default mode networks. There is a salience network and there is a central executive network. These networks help you orient yourself, help you identify objects. Your memory keeps a continuity, and the brain itself does a lot of what you know mathematically. As I said, Fourier transform in auditory thing, and the electromagnetic radiation which comes in triggers off this, then the way it is presented, feature extraction is done, image form. So, all this complex stuff which brain is doing is at a very, very, this is the whole baseline of functioning in life. Deeper structures of the brain, they control your respiration, your heart rate, your absorption, it is all under the control. Cranial nerves, which are there 10 cranial nerves which control your eye movement, your facial movement. Even if you take a small thing like smiling, all of us smile alike, but the number of complicated facial muscles which move is huge. Your sensation, your chewing, your heart rate, and then there are two other systems called sympathetic and parasympathetic. Now, these two systems, one is governed by neurochemistry. I will tell you when we talk of in the next lecture. They control all your involuntary movement, like the way the stomach is like a bag, which two muscle. So, it contracts, stomach closes, or even when you have to urinate, there is a sphincter. So, sphincters are under control of this sympathetic and parasympathetic, which keep functioning all the time, which you do not know. When you get your sudden heart rate in your anxiety, that is the role of sympathetic and parasympathetic play, eventually under the control of the deeper structure called limbic system. That limbic emotional system again controls this the physical expression of emotion, which is through these two systems called sympathetic and parasympathetic, which use different neurotransmitter. We will talk about neurotransmitter in the next set. So, I will switch on to different lecture just to continue it. Before actually moving on to the function, I wanted to discuss something which we can discuss in short. Any idea why is brain has evolved like this? If you look at the hows and whys, there are some questions which come in. Why does nature evolve so many species in the same environment? In salt water you will find 1,000 things, in fresh water 1,000 things. There are not many human beings, but even then there are 5 types of human beings at the same time. Why does brain need so many neurons? It could have done with a simpler network. And how does it evolve to be a complex network? Probably the answer comes in that once the neuronal system started evolving, lot of it evolves in the in reaction to the environment. So brain has, and I am talking of brain, I am talking of the simplest brain, like let us call first brain which appears in octopus or earthworm, where the first structure of the brain comes in. And in evolution what you see, there is something called ontogeny recapitulates phylogeny. Phylogeny is the development of a species, ontogeny is the development of individual person. It is very, very interesting to find. So, I told you about the brain which is a motor area which controls the movement, there is a limbic area which controls the emotion, and there is a higher area called thinking brain. So, this is the thinking brain or the neocortex, the structure of 6 layers which I told came last in the evolution. Amoeba moves, hydra moves, octopus moves, fish moves, motor area is present everywhere. In vertebrates, sensations are there, primal form of communication of speech, sound is there. You come to mammals, emotions also come. Dogs laugh, dogs cry, horses laugh, cry, elephants do that. So, it was a motor area, then it was a emotional brain which came, and last to evolve was thinking brain in chimpanzees and primates, and the last to complexity was human, which is different. Why did it evolve? Probably what was happening, it is a probable thing. As the neurons were forming and forming this network, even if there were 2 neurons or 10 neurons, as they formed in response to the environment, they formed this synapses. But once the synapses formed and once the neurons were on, they have to keep functioning. Even in the lack of stimulation, the new dimensions keep appearing. With every new act, there is a new motor connection or a sensory connection happens. So, complexity kept evolving as the animals kept responding to the environment, and that is how all this. So, it is like a huge experimentation, it is like almost a non-linear thing. A non-linear thing, obviously a new dimensions can evolve, which we do not know. Once it evolved, then it stayed back if it was useful. Mutations happened in natural selection, never decides thing on the positive things. Like if something is functioning well, why will nature evolve? And then something new happens. If it is deficient and it causes problem, it will be out of natural selection. But sometimes it is useful and it continues. So, similarly, there is something Edelman calls it a neural Darwinism. Neural Darwinism is that if the brain functioning has created some new dimension, and if it is useful or productive, it will keep persisting. So, this is phylogeny. So, evolution is a consequence of natural selection. It acts on the phenotype, not the genotype. Although transmission is genetic, you understand, phenotype is what is expressed and what is materialized. So, people will die and live on that, animals or whatever, but actually it is the genes which are transmitting this. When I am saying this, it against characters, as I said, if there is a deficit, natural selection will try to eliminate it, not for it. But then this is funny, because so what are the sources of selection pressures? As I said, neural Darwinism, natural selection will decide whether this behavior of you will make you survive or not. It is not acting on your brain. If I go and jump in the fire, I will die. So, my brain is not acting on my brain, it is acting on my behavior. But ultimately, in many such instances, brain will learn. So, there are two mechanisms. One is the invasion hypothesis, the addition of new projections, as I said, and other is that whatever tissues is there, you differentiate into it. So, it evolves in genetic and epigenetic. Genetic is the genetic blueprint through which it comes. It actually, genes unfold, there are about 30,000 genes, out of which 50% go in brain making. It is a huge number. So, at one point of time it was thought that it is some people used to call it a tabula rasa, a blank slate you can write on it. Brain has no temperament of its own. But then genetics came in and then people believed that it is all genetics. But then if it was all genetics, we never find concordance rate, in the sense concordance rate is if you study twins, monozygotic twins which are of the same embryo, or dizygotic which have been fertilized at the same time. Monozygotics have the same set of genes, then they should have all characteristics as the same. But when you study illnesses, you never find it 100% rate, then there must be something else. So, the new concept is epigenetics. So, if you read it carefully, it is the unfolding development of an organism, and in particular the development of a plant or animal from an egg or spore through a sequence of steps in which cell differentiate and organs form. So, they are not pre-formation, they are not pre-formed. It happens every time point. Development is a consequence of the confluence of genes and prior experience, which in turn alters the subsequent expression of genes and their interaction with the environment. So, again that same old debate of nature and nurture comes in. Nature has a blueprint, it forms it to a certain extent, environment plays its role in fine tuning it. So, when it comes to brain, it means that the brain organs and the basic networks, the basic number of neurons, the basic everything is already genetically modified, is programmed, but epigenetic factors modulate it. Epigenetic factors may be, even mother's stress can alter the amniotic fluid and cortisol level in it. That can cause some mutation, non-expression of some gene. Mother toxins can do it, trauma can do it, some genetic mutation can do it. So, that keeps varying the expression of genes. Probably that is the source of difference in human beings. When networks are being formed right from first 2 months of in womb till the first 2-3 years, when the basic synaptic thing is forming, at that time all the external influences, and that is the theory behind what we call well-being today. We ask mothers to be getting involved into music and calming things, so that the networks are healthy, and that is why first 2-3 years, probably Freud was right when he said that everything is in the childhood. So, we know that in the first 2-3 years of life, the basic networks are formed, and if the environment is not healthy, there is a trauma, that warmth and upbringing and every food and nutrition, security, everything is not, people develop anxieties, those networks are firing at all their life, it continues. And then after first 2-3 years till about 16-17, what keeps happening is there are critical periods, like one in adolescence, one in. So, environment throws challenges at the individual responds, in that these synapses and the networks keep changing their shape. Your networks, brain is very plastic, it keeps changing all its life. Even you are an old person, when the brain is decaying, and so what happens, the brain grows, these synapses overgrow. First there is a cell death and all when the brain is growing, the brain overgrows, then there is a synaptic pruning, but all your life your brain is plastic, with all learning synapses keep changing. With repetition of stimulus, the synapses change, but sometimes what happens is with a sudden thing also there can be, like there is a calamity, that trauma itself can change synapses. So, brain is very, very plastic that wise. That is why it is said that childhood is very important, and this critical period, if there is a psychological trauma or there is a physical trauma which disrupts this development, people are never able to be free of it, and that is the time when most of the psychiatric illnesses get triggered in critical period. When there is a synaptic pruning happening, schizophrenia is one illness which gets triggers off. Lot of illnesses which start in adolescent is basically when this synaptic pruning is happening. So, if you look at this epigenetic landscape, it is like maybe this is some tissue early in the development, and this is the whole landscape in which it evolves. Somewhere there is a sink, somewhere there is a source. This tissue has its own shape, but eventually what it is going to evolve is by moving through this landscape. Now, this is broadly epigenetics. So, brain evolves on its own through its genetic mechanism, but there is a huge effect of periphery, that is the environment, on motor system, on sensory system. That is why if you go back to the slide in the last lecture where I said, is it context? Our human beings cannot live like an island, because their whole sensory motor system develops, it is so embedded with environment. And now you can understand when I say that even when the genes are common, why do human beings behave like the similar way, like all chimpanzees behave in the similar way? Why? Because their neural system is developed with almost similar environment. So, motherhood is the same, the maternal affection is the same, the way kids are brought up is the same, the way we play with kids is the same, the way parental anxiety is the same way. So, now you can explain a lot of behavior. Why do father and son always get into tiff? It's half of it is programmed. That anxiety will come in, and so teenager fighting with their previous generation, I think it's biological, because the teenager is trying to tell its network its own independence at a higher cognitive level. The previous generation tries to push it in its own secure way, because they have got a certain pattern of behavior. Sensory systems, the same light, same food, same, so your brain will not respond unless, now if you take a human being, if you see a film called Jungle Book, all of you should see, they are really stories of wolf child. Probably maybe at that time, because when they were jungles, Rudyard Kipling would have seen a wolf child. Because we know people who have seen wolf child. This kid, somehow it was left in a jungle, and he was almost brought up by wolves for some maternal reason, and he started behaving like wolf, and so it was a context. Today also we know that if some pharmaceuticals have developed this nasal spray of hormone called oxytocin. You pump oxytocin, and you suddenly start getting feeling of warmth and affection and all that. So, it is the environment, not only external environment, I am talking of chemical environment also. So, I will end at this, and maybe the last lecture of this first week module, we will talk briefly more about this before we really jump onto it. Thank you.